Hails Comrade Stalin Glimmer, the world is on to your evil schemes. Make way for the flaming sword of democracy, pony! Welcome, Brony Nerds and Gamers, to Friendship is Theory, the show that is all up on that Season 5 premiere. While I'm not ready to make any groundbreaking predictions or theories as in my April Fool's episode, I do think it prudent to tackle the iron elephant in the room. Pony Communism! Dun, dun, dun. Even before the premiere, DHX and Megan McCarthy lit leaks and spoilers about the first episode air, namely the two-part episode dealing with a village of ponies who all share the same cutie mark and a dystopian-type future straight out of The Giver. No? Not familiar with that one? Well, you may know it by its current ripped-off title, Divergent. Ha! Take that, Veronica Roth. You're about 18 years late with that idea. But seriously, the premiere was filled with hilarious and memorable moments, and was, if anything, a good season opener to introduce the plot of what shall later be known as the Friendship Crusades. Namely, it's because it took such a complicated idea and applied it to My Little Pony, which has always been a strong suit of My Little Pony on the whole. Now, I could do a video talking about the nature of cutie marks being an inherent biological, magical, community-inherited self-realization, but I already did that. And by and large, the two-part premiere doesn't change my theory. It does give some amazingly interesting ideas as to the nature of cutie marks, but I'd say I've already beaten that horse. Excuse the expression. Actually, I like to discuss the reaction to the premiere. Namely, in livestream, where almost every viewer made one snark quip about Pony Communist after another. When they weren't spamming the equal sign in chat, that is. I joined in too. I mean, it's really super obvious, right? It's that age-old democracy versus communism argument that got Powerpuff Girls taken off the air. Still, I have to wonder if maybe we're all jumping the gun. Could it be that we're all wrong about Starlight's intentions? Is Starlight Glimmer really the pupil of Marx and Stalin, or is it just a coincidence? Let's dive in to find out. First, we'll have to analyze the two-part premiere, and namely the village in question, in order to build a set of points to compare to what is now modern-day communism. When the main six arrive in the town in question, wait, is there no actual name to the town? Is it just Equality Town? Glimmerville? Did they really just go along with writing the script and say, you know what this town needs? Name? Someone responds. No, silly, it needs a catchy theme song. Okay, so the theme song was catchy, but it's odd that they would simply forget to name the town. Well, since it is the case, let's just put that as point number 1. Point number 2. Noticed by rarity are the houses. They're all essentially the same, drab houses with nary a point of design to differentiate them or make them enticing.
It could certainly use a few more architectural flourishes, or any architectural flourishes.
This lack of flourish in design, whether it be architectural or fashion, almost causes rarity to puke. Point number 3, the ponies themselves not only have the same cutie marks, but also carry the same mane styles for colts or mares, as well as uniform cloaks for all its citizens. Every citizen is also sporting the same super suspicious smile. Cue the pinky sense.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
It's then we meet our town's leader, Starlight Glimmer, a cordial mare who sports the same cutie mark as the other ponies. Starlight and the town explain in song that the joy of equality is that when all ponies are the same, there is no room for conflict.
Life is a joy in our town. We're all equal here. No one is superior, and no one shakes in fear. In our town,
All the citizens were ponies whose lives were filled with sadness until they met Starlight Glimmer, who showed them that it was their cutie marks that were causing them the problem. so she removed them. Now, I don't have any good theory about that. It's certainly an interesting side note. Nonetheless, Starlight Glimmer certainly carries the air of cult leader slash comrade slash drill sergeant, and she clearly holds a position of leader of the town, which is an important point to note. So far, the iron hoof of this utopian village seems to be pretty obvious, but we're not done investigating this town. Now, if you've not seen the Season 5 premiere, you should watch it now, as I'm about to go into spoilers. When Starlight Glimmer meets Twilight Sparkle, it impresses that the main six may be the ones who are in need of help. There's a scene which impresses that Starlight Glimmer has ulterior motives, namely that she may want to spread the teachings of her town throughout Equestria.
Well, this will certainly provide a boost to our little community. When the rest of Equestria sees that a princess gave up her cutie mark to join us, they'll finally understand what we're trying to accomplish.
In the next scene, the main six meet at a local bakery to take part in some...
We have muffins?
muffins.
Then I guess we'll take 6 muffins.
Make that 12!
But there's 2 important points that happen in this scene. Namely that the pony named Double Diamond is watching the main six suspiciously. The other pony, Sugar Belle, as well as her friends in the basement, express curiosity and lament about giving up their cutie marks.
I'd love to have my special talent back, even just for a day.
Namely, of note, there are those in the village who work specifically for Starlight Glimmer, and that there are those who are divergents of the town. This leads to the first bit of conflict, as well as the reveal of the Staff of Sameness. The staff, which empowers Starlight Glimmer to remove cutie marks and replace them with equal signs, is the power behind the town's secret. Of course, when it's revealed to Starlight that Twilight may have been inspiring free thinking in the town, Starlight and her band of loyal servants trap the ponies, remove their cutie marks, essentially capturing them.
Well, now you can spend the rest of your lives here, with us. And we'll teach you just how much better life can be without your cutie marks.
You know, I think that if anything, I could theorize that the removal of the cutie mark reverts the cutie mark to a blank slate or equal sign, but no, that's not what we're talking about today. Although the removal of the cutie marks do take their talents away, I suppose that could be a problem with the ideas already accepted about cutie marks, but whatever, we're talking about communism. The next scene is something straight out of a movie. The main six are kept in a house where a loudspeaker is blasting the town's credence in a straightforward brainwashing segment.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be super fun to be all the same. Sort of. More pleasant than fun, I guess.
Now, there's not a lot of other points to make about the premiere. I could talk about the plot of sending Fluttershy into town to find the cutie marks, or the background ponies getting their chance to stand up and fight, but let's fast forward to the big reveal. Starlight Glimmer still retains her cutie mark. Not only does she retain her cutie mark, but it is her power alone and not the staff that allows her to remove the cutie marks. Okay, I said I wasn't going to make theories about the cutie marks, but if I were to say anything, the special talent of Starlight Glimmer is more like the magic of Twilight Sparkle. A cutie mark where her special talent has to do with magic. Actually, Starlight Glimmer, Twilight Sparkle, Starlight, Twilight, Glimmer, Sparkle? Could it be that... Oh, holy crap! Are Starlight Glimmer and Twilight Sparkle related? Well, I suppose we'll have to wait for the inevitable return of Starlight Glimmer in Season 6. Now that we've covered all the points, the big question has come. Is Starlight Glimmer's town the picture-perfect image of communism that the chat was expounding? Well, yes. And no. See, it was all a trick question. To expand your horizons, we have to go back in time to the early 1900s Soviet Russia. Russian socialism is in full swing, and the Industrial Revolution is just starting. The basis of socialism is what created the idea that all peoples in a government should be considered equal, with no person having more than another, and all things shared amongst its people. However, when the Industrial Revolution occurred, it became apparent that without overseers and managers to create a structured work environment, these countries would be unable to keep up with the demand of the industry. It was then that socialism and communism split. Communism was in response to an economic need that arose from the conflicts between industry and society, much like we did in America. Communism is more akin to capitalism than to a democracy. In that respect, it would be technically incorrect to call the utopian town of Glimmerville communism. But is it really a socialism? Well, perhaps in name only. But socialism is about a society where all are equal. In the town, however, Starlight Glimmer is clearly not equal to the other town's people. This revolves around the idea that socialism works really well on paper, but real people are not always so trustful or trusting. Sure, a complete utopian society where all is shared and all are equal would be perfect, but in the minds of mortals, such perfection is impossible so long as there are those like Starlight who wish to have more. Or if they need more. It's the inherent problem with most groups who teach about community and cooperation and unity of thought. Fascism, cults, overzealous religious groups, ISIS, socialism, and yes, even communism are all taught as the answer to a utopian society where all is shared and all are equal. In reality, these groups, with the exception of most religious groups of course, usually devolve into fascist states where power is held by the few and the ignorant masses are merely pawns to their plans. In the end, Starlight's town isn't just a communism or a socialism, but it embodies all of the facets of problems dealing with the teachings of perfect unity. The premiere shows us that the problem with such teachings and thought aren't their intention, but rather the problem stems from the execution of such ideas. Namely, that in order to enforce equality as a governmental structure, someone has to hold the title as a leader. So, comrade Stalin Glimmer, while you hide in your caves or whatever corner of the Equestria you've chosen to hide in, remember that individuality is not your enemy, nor is it the answer. Only by combining individuality with interdependence can we as mortals ever hope to have anything as close to a utopia as we could hope. But that's just the theory. A theory of friendship. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to leave a comment below about this episode or about a future idea, go ahead and type it below. You can click the like button, which will make me super Stalin happy. And subscribe, because you should join the growing group of friends. Give up your individuality and conform to the group by joining the herd! Good night, everybody.